It's an hour before midnight, and I'm climbing my way up the riverbank through the red clay in Georgia. Beside me are my two best friends, and we're stumbling into the stage 2 checkpoint. We're beaten, battered, exhausted, and all three of us are near hypothermic at this point. That morning, we had started a 24-hour adventure race, transversing across 100 miles of the North Georgia wilderness. We had to orienteer to checkpoints, to run, bike, hike, and paddle through the mountains. Over those first 45 miles, we had faced tons of challenges. In the opening miles, we had a debilitating injury, and we had to buddy carry our friend Matt for miles. We'd gotten lost between checkpoints and wandered through the woods. When we got to the river portion, we capsized our canoe over and over and over again, getting soaked with water. We had even gotten hit by a lightning strike that jolted our joints and left us absolutely dazed. As we stumbled those last feet into the checkpoint, we saw a wave of 200 runners come out as the whistle sounded, and they all passed us. Moments later, we got disqualified. I was angry, I was ashamed, I was embarrassed of my performance. What I didn't realize, though, is I had just passed my first Masoji. It took me about 12 years to figure this out. And what I realized was I had pushed myself to my absolute mental and physical boundaries. I had immersed myself in nature, and I'd come out the other side with an amazing experience next to people that I love. This is the essence of a Masoji. The term comes from an ancient Japanese practice where people went out into the wilderness. They reinvigorated themselves by jumping in ice cold waterfalls or into the ocean. And they probably still do this today. What it's evolved into, though, is taking on something truly hard, something that tests your boundaries and grows you as an individual. The first time I heard of this concept was a story about 5 friends who went to a little bay community in California, and they spent 16 hours carrying a 70-pound stone across 5 kilometers of open water. One by one, they would take turns diving down into the ocean, picking up this rock and carrying it a couple of feet just to hand it off to the next person. Utterly pointless, absolutely exhausting. What they found, though, is they found a spiritual connection, they found growth out there, and they had an experience that lasted a lifetime. A Masoji, there's only 2 rules to it. The first rule is it should have a 50-50 shot of success. So if it's too easy, if you know that it's going to complete, shouldn't be doing it. And second, don't die trying. You get extra bonus points if it's weird, it's quirky, it's exhilarating. All these things are great. Now imagine this. Imagine if once a year you put something like this onto your calendar. You put something big, bold, and terrifying, and then you work towards it. What you might find is the rest of the year, it's a little bit better because this idea inspires me because life is comfortable. I drove to Toastmasters this morning with a Starbucks and a heated seat. Right over there. When I go to bed tonight, I'm going to put my head down on a mattress that most people in the world will never experience that luxury. Surrounded by opulent and abundant food, most of the time I eat because I'm bored or I'm stressed. I don't eat because I'm hungry. I spend most of my day behind a computer. You live in a sedentary lifestyle. And as I get older and more stable in my life, finding adversity is tougher and tougher. You have to seek it out. What I realized, though, is in life, the points that we grow the most, where we really challenge ourselves as humans, are those tough moments. It's playing football as a kid, or it's joining army, training in missions. Maybe for you guys, it's leaving a job that's secure to strike out a new career, or to start a new business. Maybe it's beating cancer or an illness or having a kid. These are the moments that challenge you as a human. That's the essence of a Masoji. So what you should do is find something that's either physically challenging or mentally and spiritually taxing and take it on. You'll find examples of this. There's people out there that have ascended the altitude of Mount Everest on a bike in a day, or it might be having breakfast in Crested Butte and crossing a 35-mile transverse to have dinner in Aspen. Be something else. You could just go into the backcountry, escape for a day. Take on a Toastmasters competition that absolutely terrifies you. Yeah, go play an instrument in public, or might just be spending a weekend in silence. Whatever it is, put something on your calendar. For 2024, I don't know what my Masoji is going to be. I would love to go explore the 10th Mountain Hut system on skis. Maybe it would be challenging myself to build something that's outside of the trees. Whatever it is, I know that it's going to challenge me as a person. I'm going to grow new friendships and stronger relationships for it. I'm going to introduce and welcome adversity into my life. So if this sounds good to you, find that day on your calendar, put something that terrifies you on it, and then work towards it. And what you might find is the other 364 days are richer and more vibrant because of it.